So tell me about the season of iCopy after you got in with Ed and Vault and the building blocks of Nimbus were started. What did then the next phase of both iCopy and Nimbus look like?
Yeah, so I think that as we said, iCopy is a tech-enabled service. And so I think what I started noticing is that there was limitations to me by myself being able to keep up the service side while still thinking about what this looks like from an innovation perspective, from a forward, future-oriented perspective. I recognize that without a true full-time operator, that the company had really no room to grow. It was a big gap that we were noticing. And for anything to come to fruition on that side, I knew I had to find somebody that was bought into the vision, bought into the mission, and could execute. And so we actually were at lunch. I believe it was January 2019.
Mm-hmm,
Okay,
yeah.
January 2019. Over 4 years ago today. We were sitting at lunch and I was explaining to you we were just catching up, and I was explaining to you where the company was at, where we've been, where we're going, and I put out there like, hey, a lot of people. I am looking for somebody that does this, this, and this. And like, if you have any ideas on who that might be, like, let me know. And I remember exactly, you said, aren't you looking at her? And I said, okay, like maybe. I didn't know that was on the table. And so I remember that very specifically to this day. And so having you come on board was such a crucial part to the entire evolution of the company because, like I said, we complement each other very well when it comes down to you are also a visionary. You have that same forward, future-oriented type thought, but you also have the ability to break things down from an operational perspective that I did not have. And so bringing you into the fold and having you really take what we were building from a tech side and make it apply to the services and kind of have our mission and value propositions match and execution was the last kind of building block that we were missing at the time to really take off. And so that was a big turning point for us as a company, for sure.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. It has been a whirlwind, and I know the last 4 years, in my opinion, have flown by, and we'll see what the next 4 years bring. So explain for those who maybe don't know and are maybe listening or interested from a tech company or a startup, growing, scaling, what did the next 4 years, right, from that turning point to where we are today, how would you kind of highlight that season of iCopy?
Well, it's interesting because if you really want to break down like the specifics around what happened in the world, what happened in businesses in general. Obviously, we went through a pandemic, and that is a lot of businesses faced a lot of challenges during that. And we certainly did from a logistics and operations perspective, having to figure out, like everyone else, how to all of a sudden do things very remotely, how to figure out with a business like ours where security is important, where privacy is important. We handle a lot of logistical nightmares, but one of the factors in situations like economic downturns like COVID is that certain businesses or certain industries do have tick up. And where our business saw a benefit was people were in more need of health records at the time, and the medical records and kind of just all of that. In the midst of the challenges of the pandemic, we actually saw some influx of opportunities in that time. And so I think what was interesting is some of our biggest growth bursts happened really in 2020, 2021, where
Right.
A lot of people were not just in need of medical records, but the people we were serving were in need of a service that was one less thing to worry about, honestly. Like, I think that specifically, we work with a lot of paralegals on a day-to-day basis that they were navigating the same challenges that we were as a company, logistically, how to work remotely, how to do things from their home office with their kids at home with them, and to have a service like ours and a product like ours that basically built to make their life as easy as possible was something that was really refreshing for them at that time. So it was something where kind of when you look at the last 4 years, there were a lot of factors happening in real life that impacted some of our opportunities and some of the ways that our that our value propositions, I think, hit more with some of our clients as well. So
yeah,
it's an interesting 4 years for sure.
Been a journey. Well, and in interest of the future aspect of the journey, and obviously talking a lot about your specific perspective and involvement over this time frame of iCopy, really starting for you specifically in 2015 to now, what do you think your season and iCopy season looks like in the next, let's call it 3 to 5 years?
We are going to keep doing really the thing we've been doing since day one, but that we're uniquely positioned right now to kind of supercharge that. And what I mean by that is, as we were built as a by attorneys for attorneys type model, we get this opportunity that our clients, our end users, are not only our greatest champions, but they're our greatest source for feedback loops. And so we want to continue to keep iterating on our product and adding features and adding things that make sense for the feedback that we're getting from the people using it on a day-to-day basis. And so I think over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to start seeing some features that we're implementing that are coming directly from the feedback of our customers and saying, hey, the same thing that we started from the beginning. What if my records retrieval company could do this? What if this product could do this? Is that even possible? And our answer is going to be probably yes. And we're going to look at that and kind of continue to build out what that looks like over the next 3 to 5 years in order to continue to serve our customers on a deeper level.
I love that. I love that so much. And if you're listening and interested in future shows, I highly recommend to tune in. We're going to talk specifically about Nimbus and not only where it was 4 years ago and the features that have been built in that time, but to Stephanie's point about the future of the features you can expect in the near future. Stay tuned for that episode.